Howdy, folks. I'm 11 pirouetting pipers, prettily piping pianissimo pentatonics.
I'm Amber.
And here are more pianissimo pentatonics for us to pipe out. We're very quiet pipers. Let's get started. Alright, folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Saying That My Wife is Going Too Far with Her Resentment? A month ago, my friends and I were joking about how our wives cook, and I made a joke about my wife's cooking. I didn't mean to offend her, but she heard, and now she's very angry. She confronted me. We talked about how she felt undervalued, and I apologized. She says she forgave me, but since then, she no longer cooks for me. She only makes food for herself and our kids. I work a lot, and I don't have time to cook, so I end up eating snacks or ordering food. I miss homemade meals and her company. I tried cooking for her and our kids in my available time, making romantic gestures towards her and giving her flowers. But I'm stuck in status quo. Yesterday, I said that she was going too far and that she needs to work with me to resolve this situation. She got upset and said that she won't discuss this with me again and that she is dealing with it in her own time. I think that she's overreacting, and I didn't do anything so serious. She says that she forgives me, but doesn't act like it. Am I the jerk? Alright, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Yeah, OP's definitely a jerk here. Like, newsflash, your wife is not a food vending machine. You don't just say, oh, sorry, oopsie, and get food out, you know?
Yeah.
I don't understand the point of trashing your partner in front of your friends. Like, that's just such not a cool thing to do. In particular, the thing he said was that her chicken tasted like cardboard and she would burn rice.
Yeah. So I want to first off say that OP, you do get a present. It's 1 can of Spam underneath the Christmas tree. Take it or leave it. That's all you're getting. And I'll agree with Amber here. It was a little bit overboard. Well, I don't get the appeal of insulting your wife's cooking in front of friends. And it seems like this is just probably one of many jokes. It seems like she's undervalued, she's underappreciated, and she's showing you how she resents this.
Well, and OP seems to expect like 1 or 2 romantic gestures to erase all the hurt that he's caused.
Yeah, I mean, she probably thinks every single time she cooks now about that comment. And then she also probably thinks, what else is he saying about me behind my back?
Right. And like, how can she even trust that you like her cooking at this point in time?
Yeah.
Because you were willing to trash it in front of your friends so thoroughly.
Yeah. Well, and I want to say this. If he was willing to say this, which is within earshot of his wife, right? As presumably they were at some kind of social gathering, and he was willing to be, and this brazen, to say something to this effect with her in a close proximity. What else is he willing to say when he knows that she's nowhere to be found?
Right. I mean, OP, I think, first of all, there are a few things you can do. One is to publicly apologize to your wife. With all the people you insulted her cooking in front of, explain that you really love her cooking, that you were just trying to fit in, and that you really shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
They won't necessarily fix everything, but you should do that anyway because it's the right thing to do. And then get new friends. Get friends who don't go around insulting their partners for fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is a big group effort here, right? This seems like something that you folks get together. You like to talk smack about your wives and be like, make your little complaints about them and how terrible they are or whatever. And I think that you probably have learned that your wife is a valuable member of your family.
Yeah, well, that's what OP is finally starting to see is, oh my goodness, my wife actually makes my life so much easier when she helps me out. And so reflect on that and maybe work toward making her life easier. What things can you do around the house to help ease her load?
And it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to be you insert 2 quarters and you get out at dinner, right? It's going to be probably months. This is a huge betrayal. I mean, she probably feels very hurt that you are talking so bad about her behind her back. And I don't think that she is overreacting.
Yeah.
I think that she's hurt and she's dealing with this in her own time. I hope that you two can work out your relationship differences. I think that couples therapy might be a really good place to start there. And for you two to kind of have open and honest communication. She told you how she felt. She's trying to work on it, but she needs her own timeline to do this, right?
Right, and she also needs to see a concrete effort for you because, again, it seems pretty clear that you just want to do one thing and then go back to the status quo.
Yeah.
And it sounds like the status quo she has realized is not working for her, so you need to step up as a partner.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And 420 Believe It says, if you insulted it, why do you expect her to keep doing it for you? Now every time she's cooking, she's thinking of your insults. And OP replies, I know now that what I did wasn't cool, but my jokes weren't meant to reflect how she actually cooks. But I'm not sure if it justifies a month of her behaving like this. And Callie's Son 8 says, info, what was the joke? You know everyone's going to want to know that information. And OP replies, I said that her roasted chicken tasted like cardboard, and some smaller jokes like how she can't cook rice without burning it. I think that these jokes were in poor taste. She probably feels hurt and self-conscious about her cooking at this point in time.
Well, and like if everyone else making jokes about their partner's terrible cooking, the way you handle that is you make jokes about your own cooking. You turn it on its head, be like, oh, well, my wife can make chicken, but if I make it, it comes out tasting like cardboard.
Yeah, and I like it. 9981 says, as the old saying goes, don't bite the hand that feeds you. And Logical Difference 529 says, so you humiliated her and hurt her feelings in front of your friends. Then you told her that her feelings are unacceptable and then demanded what she needs to do because you're inconvenienced by her feelings. And now you're asking the internet if you're the jerk. Did I miss anything? I wonder how you would be acting if this situation was reversed. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Buying Baby-Related Gifts to Give My Pregnant Girlfriend for Christmas? So I'm a 25-year-old male and my partner is a 24-year-old female, and she is 7 months pregnant with our baby boy due next March. Now, I'm admittedly bad at thinking of what gifts to get people, so I always take note of when they say they want something, so I add it to a list. In the past several months, though, almost everything that she's mentioned has been related to the baby. I'm not talking about the essentials, but really high-end expensive designer strollers, furniture, diaper bags, etc. that can cost up to a few $1,000s each that aren't really necessary. She has been absolutely fixated on some of these things, mentioning multiple times how she wanted them, and was even toying with the idea of saving up to buy them herself. I'm not sure if she did decide to or not. Now, I got a really healthy bonus at work recently, so I decided to splurge on a few things that she mentioned as Christmas gifts to her. I made sure to remove anything related off of her registry and off our list of things that she will still need to buy, so that no one else would buy them. I thought that I did it discreetly, but she somehow noticed and quizzed me about it. I didn't feel like there was any point in hiding it, so I told her that I had bought those things as Christmas gifts to her this year. I thought that she would be grateful, but instead she was irritated and went on a bit of a rant about how it was unfair to count things for the baby as a Christmas gift to her because it was something that we would both use and no one ever gets the father baby stuff, and that it was inconsiderate of me to see her as only a mother now and not a person herself. Now I get her point, but the way I see it is that the items themselves aren't necessarily the gift, but more so the act of me buying them for her, given that they are luxuries that she specifically wanted and were not necessities at all. For example, paying $2,000 for a pram versus $200. Also, it wasn't the only gift that I bought her. I got her about a dozen smaller, cheaper things that were on my list, as well as a more expensive tennis bracelet earring set that she had been eyeing, though I didn't mention it to her. So am I the jerk for including things for the baby as part of her Christmas gift? Alright folks, what do you think?
Yeah, I do think OP was a bit of a jerk, but I think he's not irredeemable, and this is a good learning moment. I think everything his partner said is very important, and OP, this is easily fixable. It's valid for her to feel like you're treating her not as a person in and of herself, but only as a caretaker for your child.
Yeah.
And she's also right that even though these may be different baby items from what you would pick out on your own, they're still items that you both will use in taking care of the baby.
Yeah, I think in this particular case, OP is probably approaching this slightly wrong. I think that they have really good intentions here, and I think the way of reframing it that would have made your wife probably more happy is if you had said something to the effect of, you got the family a joint gift of the baby stuff, as opposed to just her alone, right? Because then it kind of implies that it's going to be a joint gift for both of you and not just for her.
Right, or could have saved it. I don't know if she's doing a baby shower, but if she's doing a baby shower, you could have added those to the baby shower instead. Because that's the time when people mostly give gifts for the baby.
Yeah. So I think that there are a few different ways that OP could have approached this. It's great. OP didn't just buy her baby gifts, right?
Right.
I mean, he bought her also other gifts. And of course, he's not going to reveal that he bought her other gifts because he wants them to be a surprise. But probably right now, she has the impression in her mind that the only thing she's getting for Christmas are baby things.
Right. Well, and she might also get that from other relatives too, because there is unfortunately a tendency once a woman usually becomes a mom, she'll just get like tons and tons of stuff for the baby and nothing for her.
Yeah.
Or very little for her. It's important to have a conversation with her and explain that it was never your intention to get just the baby gifts for her. Like, I think now is the time to let the cat out of the bag that there are other gifts. You don't have to say what they are.
Yeah.
And just acknowledge that, like, you may have gone about it in not necessarily the best way, that you're providing the gifts for the family and not, like, don't make them her gifts anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be a reasonable approach. I don't think that OP did anything terrible here, and I don't think that they were even intending on treating their wife as if they were only the mother and whatnot, because it's clear he has a list of things that he's gotten her, and he's gotten her a lot of smaller things, so I don't think his intention was ever to be like, you're just the mom now, and that's all you'll ever be from here on out. And I think that she's probably stressed out. She probably has a lot of hormones. She probably has a lot of stuff going on right now. And those are all understandable and big feelings that she has. She may feel like a lot of people are treating her a certain way. And might be something that she's kind of taking out on you at this very moment because you are, in her eyes, literally treating her that way.
Well, and there's so many other things too beyond gifts, like how many people police the way that pregnant people act.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no, don't have a sip of coffee because that might be bad for the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do this, don't do that. Oh, I was reading a story earlier today about a pregnant woman who went up to approach a dog and her husband was like, whoa, that dog is too big. You need to stay back.
Yeah. So I think that there's a lot here, and I think that they're just big feelings, and it's reasonable for her to have big feelings right now. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care, and good luck. And Crazy Crockpot Lady says, I would have worded that you would use your bonus to surprise her, and given them at the shower versus using them at Christmas, especially since you bought the jewelry set that she was wanting as a Christmas gift. Same outcome, different intention. And OP replies, yeah, that probably would have been a better idea. I mean, hindsight's 20/20, right? Mm-hmm. And Happy Bananas 134 says, you're the jerk. Yeah, baby gifts aren't a gift for her. She's right. But I would actually say you're the jerk because instead of listening to what she's saying, you're here trying to justify it. She's telling you that she doesn't want to be just a mother, that she wants to be a person too. Pregnancy can be really rough on women in terms of identity. Acknowledge her point and reassure her that you also gave her a present as well. And OP replies, that's a good point. I guess I'm seeing things from the perspective where I know that I bought her a lot of other gifts that I know she wanted. But from her end, she probably thinks that's all I've gotten her. And I know that I would probably feel the same way if I were in her shoes. Communication, folks. Communication. Alright, folks, and our last letter is titled, Update. Am I the jerk for bringing my daughter to my in-laws' party? And this was the one where OP brought their daughter to the family party, and then everyone criticized OP afterwards, and it was like, you shouldn't have brought your daughter, you're forcing her on us, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, even though he had been married to his wife for 3 years and had been bringing his daughter for, like, all that time.
Mm-hmm. I spoke to my wife and my daughter separately. My daughter said that she does sometimes feel like my wife excludes her slightly or treats her different from her brother. She also did mention how sometimes my in-laws aren't nice to her and make comments about her not fitting in and just general comments that made her feel unwelcome. She told me that she was scared to tell me in case I would be angry at her. I've apologized to her for not realizing how my in-laws were treating her and for making her scared to talk to me. My wife pretty much confirmed what my daughter said, so I'm disgusted and I'm annoyed at her. I don't understand how anyone could treat a child like this. She's the sweetest little girl, and she has never done anything to deserve this, and I just don't understand how they can be so disgusting and cruel. We're planning on getting a divorce, and my wife is planning on moving out after Christmas. The divorce will hopefully be easy since we've agreed on a split of custody for my son. Once she moves out, she'll probably have my son every weekend, but that'll probably change once she gets her own house. I'm very grateful that she has been so nice about all of this, and that there's not been many arguments about the divorce, which is very helpful. Thank you all for the comments on my last post. Alright folks, what do you think of this update?
Probably for the best. It's really unfortunate that it turned out that his wife and her family had been mistreating the daughter this entire time.
Yeah.
That's horrible, but I'm glad that the daughter won't have to be around them anymore.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that OP putting their foot down like this and saying that they're getting a divorce is going to be the reassurance that their daughter needs in the future to know that OP is in their corner and that they're going to stick up for them. So I think this is a really good move on OP's part. If things had been reconcilable, that would have been great, but it's clear that things aren't reconcilable at this point in time, and I just feel so bad for this poor little girl because she didn't do anything to deserve any of this. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck, OP. Alright folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here. And Amber, she has a joke.
Mother monster, stop kicking the doctor. Young monster, why, ma? Mother monster, you have your new shoes on.
I don't even know if I get this joke. They have new shoes on, and so they should stop kicking the doctor.
Because they could damage the shoes, but in Monsterland, wouldn't damaged shoes be better than new shoes?
I thought we just kind of established yesterday that, like, gross and ugly was good in monster terms, and, like, new and refined is bad. So I would agree on that assessment. I'm not sure what the Jovial Bobstein's consistency is in this world. And I have Mega Mint. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Wednesday, Hump Day, Friday, Junior's Eve. Wow, this week is flying by, folks. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it a very short allegory.
There once was a man who insulted his wife's cooking. His wife told him that she felt underappreciated, but he just kept trying to make her cook for him, so a monster ate him. The end.
You know, I think that works. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye!